It is ridiculous that the Vancouver Canucks on a Friday play in a game that finishes before New Jersey, Detroit. It finishes before New York Islanders and the Capitals, and it finishes before the Penguins and the Bruins start playing against each other. What the hell is wrong with today's scheduling? I get it, Eastern time zones exist, they had to cater to the Buffalo audience, that's great, but man, is today weird. Oh, they didn't want to schedule games on American Thanksgiving to compete with the NFL, the NBA did the same thing, okay, I get that. But that doesn't mean I have to like it. Like, what the hell, man? We have a 9:30 game coming up on Sunday as well against the Detroit Red Wings. Oh boy, we are going to have ourselves a time trying to wake up for that one. And I'm going to admit here, I did wake up at 12 p.m. to watch this Canucks and Buffalo Sabres game. But I ended up not actually waking up properly. Like, the alarm went off, pulled the phone up, checked my messages, turned the alarm off. Or no. I turned the alarm off and then I checked my messages. Calm down. And then I ended up passing out again and waking up 2 hours later because I needed the extra 2 hours. And I'm not going to say that I regret that. I want to prioritize my health sometimes. But as a result, I missed a good 50 minutes of this game here, which, if I'm going to be honest, based off of the way that the game ended, I don't really think that's a bad thing. I feel like this game was made because of its story towards the end, because the Vancouver Canucks almost collapsed in this one, because the Buffalo Sabres had a boatload more chances and shots, especially in that third period of play. I feel like this was one of these games where, even though Buffalo might have controlled the majority of the chances and the possession, Vancouver, they still found themselves the lead, they still found themselves a way to almost blow it, and then they found themselves a way to win. Vancouver beats Buffalo 4-3 in overtime with a beautiful Alex Edler tying assist from Quinn Hughes to Conor Garland. Alex Edler, you've got company, because Quinn Hughes has now tied Edler for most assists in Vancouver Canucks franchise history for defensemen, and he did so in 538 fewer games. Like, Alex Edler had 900 whatever games total played for the Vancouver Canucks, and he had the 300-something assists that he had. Not the best assist per game number, but he was the statistical leader here for Vancouver for years, up until this young lad named Quinn Hughes got drafted and developed by the team. Now, Quinn Hughes is only 24, 25 years old, and he's in the spot where he is now tied for number one. Dare I say, and this is not going to be a hot take at all, Quinn Hughes is the best defenseman the Vancouver Canucks have ever had. And that honestly isn't really an assessment that I thought we'd be saying this early into his career when he was drafted 7th overall by the team back in 2018, but man, is it one that I'm happy to be able to say, because he goes out there with multiple assists in this game for Vancouver as they defeat the Buffalo Sabres. Let's talk about the goals, the ones that went in whilst I was asleep, and then we'll talk about the dynamics towards the end, towards that third period, because that is when things got very, very interesting. So I'm going to say right here, based off of the Money Puck expected goals percentages on their website and the deserve to win meter, it seems to me, I'm going to fake this right here, that the Buffalo Sabres were the better team. They had the better chances, they had most of the shots, and they were in control. This was pretty consistent throughout the first and the second, and especially the third periods, but the goals that we see go out there and support a different narrative. Because the first goal of the game was scored by Bowen Byram. We had talked about him earlier in today's show as a potential Montreal Canadiens trade target. It was in the first period with a few minutes to go. Buffalo has the puck in their own zone. They break things out. It's a really good rush here by Bowen Byram, who leads the charge himself and, for some reason, finds himself as the guy to come into the Canucks zone. He ends up dropping the puck off to Zach Benson on the right side, who walks in, throws it towards the goal. It deflects off of a Canuck, it looks like, and Bowen Byram is able to take that airborne puck and swat it into the open cage. That was a really nice hand-eye coordination display from BB, and it gives the Sabres that 1-0 lead. Zach Benson with his second assist on the year. Nice to see these young Buffalo guys coming together and contributing 4 points. Then you had yourselves the second period, which is where Vancouver ends up tying things up. It is Jake DeBrusk with 2 minutes to go in the second. Really nice play here for Vancouver, and DeBrusk, who has been hot lately, is able to continue his streak. Besser goes over to Suter, who one-times it on goal. He slams it down, and the rebound is right there for Jakey D, who is in tight. He gets it by the goaltender, and he makes it a 1-1 game. At this point in the game, towards the end of the second period, the money pucks, deserve to win meter, and expected goals were all in Buffalo's favor, but of course, even though the expected goals might say that Buffalo should have been on top, it was a 1-1 game after all. The Canucks then scored themselves the next two in the third period. First one, Conor Garland. He had a really nice tip out in front. Conor Garland, man, as he's been on those backdoor passes, he's been so effective. Elias Pettersson had some nice moves in this play as he eventually finds the puck over to Hughes. He throws it to Besser and then a backdoor feed. There you go, Conor Garland. It was a double penalty for Dylan Cozens. And I say double penalty, not a double minor. It wasn't 4 for high sticking. Nah, it was 2 for holding and then 2 for unsportsmanlike conduct. So Dylan Cozens got the boot for 2 separate things at the same time, which is what led to the Canucks having a 4-minute power play. Conor Garland scores within the first few minutes here. And then you had yourselves just 4 minutes later, Pius Suter coming in on a breakaway, assisted by Conor Garland. What an absolutely fearless shot block from Garland to deflect the puck over into the neutral zone, which allows Suter to come right in and score on UPL Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. 3-1 game, and this is around the time when I wake up. So I'm like, okay, wait, crap, I had the alarm and I was awake at 12 p.m., but I did not end up seeing most of the game. And then we start to see a little bit of a meltdown, because this is where Dylan Cozens eventually scores. He has a lane on the right side. He walks right in and he snipes it on Kevin Lankinen. Nice to see Cozens getting on the board too. Based off of all the stuff that he's been going through, I think he needed this for him. But it's not the best coverage defensively by the Canucks in their own zone. Cozens is able to just walk right in. And then a minute later, you have yourselves the Sabres who score again. The NHL website says that it is Dylan Cozens, but from the replay, it looked like it might have been Alex Tuch. There was a shot made by Zach Benson on the left point, and it eventually deflects off of a few things in front. It goes off of Cozens. It then looks like it might have goes off of Tuch and then in, but it might have been off of the Canucks player instead. Who really knows? We'll look for the NHL statistical change later on tonight, but it's a total fluky play. Zach Benson get the puck towards the goal and good things will happen. And you can see on the bench, Alex Tuch, once the goal goes in on the video replay in the arena, you can see Tuch look over to Cozens and just kind of do like a, okay, that shouldn't have gone in kind of face. And I don't know, I love Alex Tuch's energy. The guy looks like he's happy to be there. He's honored to be there. He enjoys the sport. And he's also a lethal player. Like, anytime you give Alex Tuch time and space and he comes in with speed and shoots, it's a really dangerous time. But at this point, the Canucks blew a 3-1 lead. It's now 3-3, and Buffalo had the majority of the opportunities till the end of the third period. That is until overtime, when things dropped, and Vancouver had the puck for like 90% of the entire frame. The Canucks were just controlling, they were shooting, they were retrieving, and then they would throw the puck all the way back to Kevin Lankinen to get their change, and Lankinen would stop it, send it up, and then they would rinse and repeat. The Canucks had a stupendous strategy here in the overtime, and it resulted in Vancouver having everything up until Erik Brannstrom decides that he wants to be a one-man show and go through everybody. He tries to make a move on Tage Thompson, he gets checked, the Sabres get it back, and eventually the Sabres cycle it around to the Canucks zone a little bit. Peterka with a shot attempt, the Sabres control. After a little bit more madness in the Canucks zone, it's Tage Thompson who gets himself a one-on-one, a mano-a-mano against Kevin Lankinen, and Lankinen makes the stop. A beautiful stretch pad save on Tage Thompson in tight, who ends up deflecting it away. The Canucks get it back. Conor Garland is able to control it in the Buffalo zone, and it's thrown back over to Quinn Hughes, who eventually waltzes his way over to the opposite side, tosses it back door. It goes off of JJ Peterka and then off of Conor Garland, and Garland, planted right there in the crease, is able to put the puck in through his legs. Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen was scrambling. He was adjusting for the shot from Hughes. Instead, it's a pass to Garland, and Vancouver walks out of this one with the 4-3 win. Nice to see them getting back on board here with a dub. What a great way to end off an almost choke at the hands of the Buffalo Sabres. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. We're not going to be done yet because we still got to make other videos about trades. There were a few other things that we need to talk about, and yeah, we definitely need to talk about these. So for now, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about the Canucks versus the Sabres. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.